John Magaro. John, welcome to Ultrasonic Film.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. We're going to chat about your new film, Omaha. I got an opportunity to see that film. It's definitely well worth checking out. But of course, you've got an incredible career. There are a few of your films that are among my favorites of all time. One film in 2009, a very small film, an HBO film called Taking Chance,
Oh, wow.
was
Yeah.
actually an incredible, beautifully made film.
Hi, Annie.
Mike. It's Marine, actually.
How embarrassing.
Trust me, you're a breath of fresh air.
Welcome to Billings, folks. During this flight, I've had the honor of carrying the remains of a fallen Marine. I'm going to inconvenience you for a few moments while the escort disembarks the plane.
I didn't know.
As you go about your
I'm
day,
so sorry.
please keep the family in your thoughts.
It's okay. Thanks for the company.
I was wondering if the mood on the set was as serious as the film itself. Was it very somber when you were filming it? You had some scenes with Kevin Bacon, who ended up winning an award for his performance.
You know, it was so long ago, and I was so new to film acting at the time that I can't recall the tone so much as just being so nervous about not fucking up my lines in front of Kevin Bacon. So I was so worried about that's really all that I was focused on at the time.
I was 17. So my parents had to sign something because I was underage. Couldn't bear the thought of waiting another year. Graduate from boot camp, I feel like I'm on top of the world and see these things you never thought you'd see. It's fun.
It's fun.
I'm serious.
No offense, but I don't really get what we're doing over there. These two guys from my high school went. One of them ended up hurt really bad. The other one, he didn't make it back. Let the family know we're thinking of them.
You're a good man, Rich.
Thanks.
Be safe.
All right, see you.
With The Big Short, it's a massive film with a massive cast about a very complicated process. And I was curious, as you're part of that cast, did you get an opportunity to improvise into your role a little bit to add stuff? Because I would imagine there was just a ton going on when you were making that film.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, it was probably one of my first chances to really open up the world of improv in film or doing a film. That was kind of inevitable with Adam McKay directing. It comes from this comedic kind of improv background. Sketch comedy, things like that. So yeah, I mean, it was very free. The lines were really great on the page, as I recall. So you wanted to say those, but then he would encourage you to just take shots and try things that were different. And he would also throw out ideas. It was really loose and a lot of fun. And I think that's why everyone really enjoys working with Adam.
Once the industry leader, by the way, filed for bankruptcy, the company immediately, good time for my voice to go, fired 3,200 workers. The manufacturing index also fell in the month of March, warning that economic growth could slow. Now, the Institute of Supply Management also reported a rise in prices.
I'm going to call my mom.
Could also...
The principal source of the slowdown in economic growth that began last spring has been the substantial correction in the housing market.
We've known each other for 7 years.
She's got some lungs on her. I'm impressed.
And so far, we don't see really any significant indication.
Can't help but enjoy it.
There's no fucking way.
There's no fucking way that the big banks are that stupid. Bye, Kathy.
Well,
Kathy thinks that it would be a good idea if we sold our shorts.
What else is new?
And she said that Morgan Stanley will buy them.
Holy shit. What did you say?
I told her we're not selling shit.
If you need the files for 2005.
Mr. Field's suit is very specific to files from the past year.
Good, then get out. Say hi to Lawrence for me.
both do.
You can't call me back for a week?
I'm so sorry, Mike. Goldman had a systems failure. I lost a ton of messages.
Yeah, B of A said they had a power outage. Morgan Stanley said the server crashed.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, I would call it improbable. So Where do you have our position marked?
I think it's the same, Mike.
What? Can you explain that to me, please? Because how can the value of an insurance contract not be affected by the demise of the very thing it insures?
They're independent markets. They're not always correlated. I know it sounds odd, but these are very complicated products.
They are correlated.
They're going to lose their houses. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their... Will you listen to me? This is like the end of capitalism. This is like the Dark Ages all over again. I don't want to talk to Dad. Okay, I love you too. Save your money. She says I need to be on Xanax and double my dose of Zoloft.
I asked Bear Stearns to price our shorts. They tell me the CDOs still haven't moved.
This is fucking insane. You realize that these people are crooks and they should be in prison. Look at the Tavex. You can see that the CDOs are worth zero. So you know what they're doing, huh? You know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're unloading them.
They're selling their dog shit CDOs. Then they go to another bank and short the shit they just fucking sold.
Let's go to the press, man. This is a massive story. Who wouldn't publish it?
No, you don't get it.
I got it, guys. I got it. But what am I supposed to do? You want me to write a piece called We're All Fucked?
Yes. That's a perfect title.
Casey, right now, every bank in town is unloading these shit bonds onto unsuspecting customers, and they won't devalue them until they get them off their books. This level of criminality is unprecedented, even on fucking Wall Street.
Jamie, and this is me being honest here, okay? It took me years to build my relationships on Wall Street. No bank or ratings agency is going to confirm a story like this just because it comes from two guys in a, garage band hedge fund that thinks it's the apocalypse.
Wow.
I thought you were for real, Casey. You know, I have to say I really did.
Really? Yeah, Jamie, you try being for real with a 3-year-old and a wife getting her master's degree. Like, I'm not going to burn my reputation on your wild hunch.
Wow.
Thanks for coming, guys. Totally fucking awesome to see you.
Yeah, Casey, I've always hated you because you were a prick in college, and you are a prick today.
Thanks, Charlie. Still living with your mom?
Charlie, come on.
Yeah.
Mark Baum again, call me.
Subprime bonds fell off a cliff. Rumor has it, default numbers are huge.
Who got the remittance data early? I bet it's Goldman.
Yeah, fuck you very much. Bye-bye.
Jared, it's chaos down here. Where are we?
And Caesar wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. Shane? Well, nobody's buying CDO or mortgage bonds anymore, and everybody wants swaps. Swaps are now the most popular product on the street.
That's good for us.
Yes and no. I heard from somebody who heard from somebody. No, Alex. No. Sorry. Benny Klieger over at Morgan is taking on some heavy losses in the bond department. Your ship might be taking on water. Might be time to get a life jacket and get out.
Holy shit.
I'm jacked.
Holy shit.
I'm jacked! I'm jacked to the tits!
Good.
Do you feel it?
No.
Oh, that's extremely convenient for you.
What'd you hear, Tony?
It's happening.
A great opportunity for me, obviously, working with all those people and being given that kind of responsibility. And it's been fascinating over the years to watch how much it's actually influenced other films. Seeing films come out, every other year or so that definitely take from The Big Short. So it's cool, and it's cool to see that it's had such life beyond that year it came out. What if we bet against the AA tranches? We know that they say they're 95% AAA rated, but in reality, they're more like 25%. Some of them are 0%. We also know that if the bottom tranches fail at over 8%, the upper tranches are affected, they go to 0. I'll bet you right now that those AAs are actually like Bs.
Just when I started thinking you guys are clowns. No one on the planet is betting against AA.
This is what we did that no one else thought of.
With September 5th, that was an incredible movie with the confined nature in the TV station where it was set and shot with the handheld camera work. I was wondering if it felt a little bit more like a play than an actual film, because it honestly came off that way when I first saw it in the theater, and I thought it was just remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it was. I know, and when we were going around with that film, I think we often said this could easily be made into a play. Yeah, you can't help but feel that way. You're in a confined space. There's not a lot of, there really aren't any locations. You're with an ensemble the whole time, pretty much. Yeah, it definitely did feel theatrical in a lot of ways, which was fun.
Absolutely. You know, as it was my favorite film of 2024,
Oh,
and I
thank you.
honestly think it got robbed at Oscar time. Should have been
Me
Best
too.
Picture, Best Director. I know. I mean, what the heck? Gotta tell you.
ABC wants news to take over.
Your sports, you're way over your head.
Guys, that's a TV.
Are they seeing what we're seeing?
What are you talking about?
Are the terrorists seeing this?
Did you hear that?
Were those gunshots?
We are the only people capable of following it live. This is our story, and we're keeping it. We might be broadcasting history. More people have seen this than Butch Armstrong landing on the moon.
What do I tell the cameras?
What do you mean?
I mean, can we show someone being shot on live television?
You've played several real life people. You've also, of course, played several characters that are written. Is there a preference? Do you, when you're playing a real life person, is that a different angle into the character that you can explore as opposed to a character that's written on a page? Do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference. I think, especially if they're still alive, like Jeff Mason was. Jeff Mason, by the way, has since passed. A great guy who the fella I played in September 5. But he was with us when we were filming that and when it came out. So, you know, when they're that present, you can't help but feel a responsibility. A historical person who's been gone that existed, you know, that's not so much. You don't feel so much that way. But I try and treat all the characters I play with same amount of respect and, you know, same approach it with the same, you know, hard work as I would whether they're alive or fictional. Yeah, but it's not a preference. I just like rich characters that have something unique and fascinating and fun to play.
You don't want anybody to see their kid executed on live television, so I don't know about the Israelis, but David Berger's folks are in Ohio, so I'm pretty sure they'll watch.
Well, someone should tell them not to watch it, but we have a bigger responsibility here.
What about the sponsors?
The sponsors are not going to be concerned. All they
Guys,
care
we have
about
2
are
minutes.
viewers. Okay.
So is that what we're trying to achieve here? Is ratings?
No, we're following the story wherever it takes us.
All right, then let me ask you this. Black September, they know the whole world is watching, right? That's why they chose the Olympics. If they shoot someone on live television, right, whose story is that? Is it ours or is it theirs?
You've got the new film Omaha coming on out. I like how the film doesn't make hard judgments. It leaves things ambiguous, leaving us to wonder how our current society and culture could have influenced your character's actions. Do you think that was that kind of a deliberate thing that you guys did there?
It is something that is still happening, although this takes place in a very specific time in history where some mistakes were made in the legislation in Nebraska that allowed this situation to persist for a few weeks. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I enjoy films that have an ambiguous nature or leave kind of an open ending for questions to be asked, and this certainly does that. This is I do know that there is an intention to open up a dialogue after you watch the film. So hopefully people, when they see it, will have those kind of questions and talk with whomever they go and see the film with about those questions. Yeah, the comments on the present situation and all that, I don't know.
Come on, I need you to wake up now.
What time is it?
I know it's early, sweetheart, but we gotta go. We're gonna go on a trip.
Rex, come here, boy. Where are we going?
Pretend that there is a fire in the house and we have to get out as quick as we could. What would you take with you?
The picture of Mom. Did Dad say where we're going? I think we're going to Disneyland.
The film has a little bit of a documentary feel to it. As I was
Mm.
watching it, it doesn't seem staged at all. It feels exceptionally natural in the film. As far as your performance in the film, was that something you did great pains to really come off as authentic as possible?
It's interesting you say that, Didak. I mean, I haven't heard that before, but I definitely get what you're saying, and I take that as a compliment. I think that I don't think that necessarily was intentional to feel like a documentary. I think that just sort of happened because of the way we were working with children. You know, some of the script had to kind of be pushed aside because when you're working with a 6-year-old, it's kind of difficult for them to just deliver lines, you know? So I think we found ourselves kind of improvising again. We kind of come up, we'd be like, well, what is the purpose of the scene? What are we trying to achieve in this scene? And then we kind of tell Wyatt and Molly, don't worry so much about line. Let's just talk and we'll get to where we need to go. And it took me sort of prompting them a little bit and guiding the conversations. And I think because of that style of drawing out performance, it couldn't help but feel like it, because it really is. It's just a conversation at that point. It's not dialogue. And and I think that allows the kids to feel very natural, which they do in the film, and it allowed them to just be kids and not have to worry about being actors.
How much are these? $4.99. I'll just take one.
Keep running until you find the wind. Are we gonna stay here lots of days?
Just gonna stay tonight and then we gotta keep moving.
As an actor, when you play a character with such internal demons and you're giving a subtle, nuanced performance, is there a danger of getting inside his head and going too far, getting too dark in scenes? I'm kind of curious how you approach that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of actors do that. They get to a place that's probably too dark, and the performance probably comes off as too dark, and also for them personally, it affects them probably too much. When I was younger, I was a bit more in that camp of, suffering for your art. And then I worked with great actors who I really respect and, most of the world respects, and realized there's a way to do it without killing yourself. And also in this character, right away, I knew he still had to be somewhat likable. Like, he still had to be a good dad. And as a dad myself, I know even when I'm going through my worst moments, you still try and put on a good face for your kid. So it was really important to me to almost keep it as light as I possibly could, to play against the darkness of the situation. Otherwise, two things. I think the audience would have seen right away where this was heading and gotten way ahead and gotten bored by the story too quickly. And also, I think he would have just come off as an unsympathetic, terrible character. And how can you, go on this journey with them if that's how you feel? So yeah, it was important for me to lighten that up.
What time are you open? Probably tonight.
Is Dad mad at us? I don't know.
On your mark, get set, go.
Your children's names are Charlie and Ella. They seem like really good kids.
It definitely does draw you in, and you certainly are trying to figure out the central character for the whole movie, which I do believe is also part of the point, getting inside this guy's head. And as an actor, of course, you have to give out little kernels as the film goes along to sort of draw the audience in. As you're being directed with the director in that regard, did he give you a certain amount of back and forth and freedom to explore that?
Yeah, I mean, Cole really trusted me. He came to me and, he's known I'd been doing this for a while, and he really gave me all the room in the world to play with. And we collaborated. We had a real kind of like a game plan for how we wanted this guy to, be and come off as, and like I said, we wanted to lighten him as much as we could. And he really trusted me to kind of let the dad unfold in a kind of slow burn type of way. And I really appreciate him for allowing me to do that.
Yeah, it's a question just popped into my mind. I'm certainly not looking for any names or movies, but when you're being directed by a director and it's not working because you've been on so many different sets and so many different places, how do you get through that? Because you've had a consistent performance in all of your films. You built your career very, very well. But when you're on your own, how does that work for you when you're with a bad director? Like it
I
doesn't
don't know.
work.
You kind of grit and bear it, and then you go home at night and drink a lot of booze. I mean, it's not fun when you have a director that you're not getting along with, and you don't work the same way. I mean, that's why you meet a director beforehand. And you have meetings and talk, and you hopefully have a good connection. And fortunately, I for the most part had directors that it's been good, but I've had some that we didn't see eye to eye, and it was tough. And I'm not the type of actor who's gonna make a fight over it. Some actors will hold up the entire day and fight and just fight with the director, and it's it doesn't solve anything, because at the end of the day, the director and the editor are gonna piece it together, and you're not in that room with them. So I don't see a lot of value in being, surly or confrontational about it. I sort of just grit and bear it and still do what I want to do in a way, but in what I hope is a more elegant way of doing it. But it's not fun. It's not fun. No. I'll tell you that. I mean, imagine having a boss you don't like. It's not, no one likes that.
Awesome. Well, John Magaro, I want to thank you very, very much for joining me here on Ultrasonic Film. I really appreciate this interview. You've had an incredible career, and I wish you the best of luck with Omaha and your future work as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dad, I want ice cream.
I want a lot of things, Charlie, but it doesn't always work out the way you plan.
Sorry.